All right. Well, you're now recording video. I'm about to start recording audio. All righty, Ricky. I brought you on because your television taste is a lot closer to mine than Josh's. And
Okay.
he's got a lot of excuses. Even though he has 0 kids and you have multiple kids, including the newest baby,
Who is sleeping right next to me?
baby Discord.
Yes. My middle name Discord.
What is your baby's name?
Valentina Lorelei.
Valentina Lorelei, Discord Arguello. All right, well, listen, if she starts making noises,
No, she's pretty passed out.
you can ignore her. At that age,
Yeah.
it doesn't fucking matter. They don't even know where they are.
No, she's good for the next 3 hours because I just fed her. So
Do
we
you
should be good.
know, I don't know what age it changes, but at that age and for some time, there is no difference in their perception of you and her.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, me and her.
Like she doesn't distinguish, that's dad, I'm a baby.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, they don't know what's going on.
Right, but it's a weird scientific thing.
Oh, I don't know too much about it. I didn't read one of those, the what to expect when you're intersecting. I never read that.
That's for white people, dude.
Yeah. I think I have it somewhere.
At our first kid, my wife did do the requisite reading of those things, and you actually think any of them are going to help, and then you're just thrown into the fucking shitstorm, literally, and it's fucking survival every day. Thank God we kept this kid alive another day.
I mean, that's all that really matters is keeping them alive. And I think my wife read them as well, but she probably put it on my bedstand, and I probably just left it there.
Hey,
I thought, you wing it. You wing it.
Hey, listen, hashtag real talk. I'm going to tell you 2 things that have stuck with me, all right? Not that I know anything, not that I'm any kind of expert, okay? The first sentence of one of these books, it might have been that one, said the best thing for a kid is to have 2 parents that love each other and that love it. And I was like, oh my God, we have half a chance because we love each other, right?
Yeah.
And then shortly afterwards, like within that same time frame, maybe the kid wasn't even born yet, a friend of mine he worked in drug rehab, and he got paid to deal with really rich people who'd send their kids to
send them off to boarding school,
to drug camp. And we're talking not just rich, but like Saudi prince type rich.
Oh yeah.
And he said these people have everything in the world, and all they want is like for their parents to love them. Like that's all they want, even though they have everything physically in the world. Because that's the thing.
You hear that often. Like you hear it all the time, and it's still like I guess a problem. People just don't get that, especially like I mean, it's a trope. It's a common trope, but nobody hears it. You see people like exactly those rich people. They just don't care, and they send them off with nanny. And then problems start to arise, and it just happens over and over again. And it's just like it's pretty simple. Just be there and do right by the kid.
Well, and I think, but love each other. That's the other part. Like they model you and they see you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're doing nothing but like yelling at your wife, then that's like not great.
Yeah, well, we try to keep the yelling to a minimum, especially in front of the kids. We take it to another room if a problem arises. But that's the big thing is love. Right?
Speaking of super rich families, where are you with Succession?
I haven't started it. I don't have HBO. But I did watch Curb, and I am watching.
How did you watch Curb?
The internet.
Okay, so why can't you watch Succession?
Well, because I haven't gotten to it. Like we're going through now.
Well, you said I don't have HBO, but you watched Curb, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I downloaded. I legally acquired Curb, and Succession is like one of those things where it's like it's on the back burner.
That's okay. It's okay.
We're going through Schitt's Creek right now.
Stacy loves Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, we're obsessed with it right now, and it's like all we watch, and it's like I'm trying to fit in another show, and she's like she needs to finish one show before she can start another. So I gotta start that one next.
But don't you have some separate time? Like we watch certain things together, and then we're watching another reason you got to get HBO. We're watching The Outsider together. There's no way we're not watching that separate, right? That's
Right.
amazing. We're watching it together. But then if she falls asleep, I'm going to watch sports or all these YouTube videos that you're going to be talking about, which my wife makes fun of me for. Um, but so let's talk about Curb. What was your favorite subplot of Curb, or favorite thing that annoyed him this first episode?
Well, my favorite thing was the MAGA hat thing, because that's just like,
Oh, spoiler alert, by the way. Don't listen if you want to not hear about Curb.
yeah.
Ready? Pause. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the best part was the MAGA hat subplot, where he has this idea to wear a red hat, or the MAGA hat, the Make America Great Again hat, to get out of conversations, or to use a situation to his advantage, where like he notices the one guy's kind of a rednecky type on the bike, and then all of a sudden they're having a fight, and then he puts the hat on, and it's like, oh yeah, well, I get never mind. No, that was the best, because that's like
Did you know when he was talking to Jeff and he said, I have an idea, and he ran out? Do you know that's what he was going to do? Because that's what I said to Stacy. I go, he's going to buy a MAGA hat right now.
no, I didn't catch that.
Because right before that, they had talked about having to do lunch with this guy. He's like, I'll call you in the middle. He's like, I already used that excuse.
Oh yeah.
And then he's talking about two or three other things. And then they're talking about another guy that wore a MAGA hat. And it was like, yeah, nobody wants to be around you. And he was like, it's genius.
Yeah. No, that was the best.
What about just, he's never really done this, the just arbitrarily snapping the selfie stick and knocking down the bird bikes?
Yeah, like over the last couple of seasons, it's gotten a little bit more absurdist, because that's not usually it was like kind of grounded, where it's like the interactions are, he pissed somebody off, and then it naturally goes to, oh, they're come back later. But this one is just like, okay, let me just snap this right off the bat, and they have no reaction whatsoever. It was a bit absurdist, but it's funny.
No, I don't think that's absurdist. I think that's just how he really feels. It was probably, can we do an entire episode on birds? No, great. Then we've just got to at least acknowledge it.
Right.
But I also, the minute they got to the party, I was like, oh my God, Jeff looks like Weinstein. Like,
Yeah, he's disheveled.
well, he's wearing he kind of looks like him, but they specifically put him in white shirt, blazer, and they gave him the 2-day bad beard. Like they
Right.
definitely like spruced it up. But no, I kind of knew that's where they were going to go with that. And then, him trying to get a snack, him trying to get,
The pigs in blanket.
pigs in a blanket. And she, of
Yeah.
course, thinks he's ogling her.
That's always like a common thing with him, though. It's he's always with a woman. I mean, earlier on, he did a lot of that stuff, which is
Right,
it's still funny. Still funny.
right. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this season, if that was a taste of what's to come.
Yeah, it was pretty dense of an episode. Like it was just one thing after another. He was pissing off one thing, or it was like a plot was starting, and then another one started, and another one started. Then Richard Lewis. It was a lot for an episode, but it worked. It worked.
All right. You want to talk about Aaron Hernandez next?
Did you watch the documentary?
I've got like this much left of the last episode, but I think we're good. I think I can.
Well, okay. Well, another spoiler alert tag here, right? If you haven't watched it, or if you don't know what's going on with that
Okay,
story.
here's a pause and pause.
There you go.
Okay, great. Here we go.
Okay, so but I would imagine the thing that you're probably missing out on is they spend the last episode about 15 minutes like trying to really connect it with CTE after he dies or kills himself. But you're not missing much.
Yeah,
But-
I already know how the story ends. It's just a matter of
Right.
seeing all the flying plot points. So, who do you like more? Semi-pro backyard football guy with the greasy hair who thinks everything would have been fine if he just hung out with them. Crazy cancer auntie. Who's your favorite character? This is so cool.
Oh well, the semi-pro football player, because he was like the only like real character. Everybody else was just like, it was too much. I mean, I mean, you're not going to snitch on your family, I don't think, but that was she took it to I mean, almost obstruction level where she wasn't
But what she
cooperating.
did? She did
Yeah,
obstruct.
that's right. She did, but that was I mean, that's that's loyalty, and I guess that's what you want in that situation. But just you don't see that happen very often, where they just don't crack, and she just wouldn't. 'Cause I guess she was like a mother figure. Another person who was from an unloving home. His dad didn't like him because he was gay,
Well,
apparently.
well, I mean, here's the thing. They, I, I, I did not know anything about this. It's clearly become this massive thing, right? Essentially, what the
Yeah,
doc is about, right?
yeah.
Is this guy closeted? Was he covering it up with macho behavior? Does he have CTE? Like blah blah blah. First of all,
Well, we knew he had CT after when he did the autopsy.
no, but I'm
That
saying
was like big news. Oh yeah, yeah,
these are the sort of the ideas behind it.
yeah. No,
But
but
if the news was the news really broken by a horrible sports talk show that goes, guess who was the tight end? Like I thought it was like when they showed a person's face and said, reporter, I was like, oh, well, it was like a news thing. And it was like really lame. Like,
yeah, I don't recall that either. I mean, I didn't really follow it too closely because I don't really care too much for football actually. But I did kind of know the big story of it, where he murders them, and there was a whole cover up, and then he was just not a good. It wasn't a good cover up, and like that you see in the documentary that it's just like they were really bad at covering their
but
tracks.
but I think because this is what happens when you just fucking smoke weed every day.
Yeah, well, I mean, he didn't seem like the brightest guy in the first place,
No, but
and then
seriously though, like if all you do is smoke weed, right? Like every day and maybe other stuff, I don't know if they got into that or not, then these are the things that like you like, yeah, man, let's just dump the body kind of near my house and
well,
see tomorrow.
right. Well, I don't remember who said it, but it's probably like Joe Rogan. But it's like one of those things where I feel the same way, where it's if you're smoking weed and you're dumb, you're just enhancing how dumb you are by smoking weed. But like if you're, it doesn't. I don't think it makes you dumb necessarily. But what the
No,
quote?
but you're just sort of in a haze. You're just sort of in
Yeah,
a haze all the time, every day. And imagine he's got money. He's probably getting the best shit you can. Smoking.
true.
I'm
And
impressed. I'm impressed that he turned it on for practice because usually that starts to overtake. But I guess that's the thing when you're young. You can do that. You can like get no sleep and then crush it at the football game. Um,
well, have you ever done anything like that?
I smoked a lot of weed and I never played football the next
No,
day.
no. But like, have you ever worked out doing that?
No.
No, I did it a couple of times, and I couldn't do it again.
Dude, I could barely work whatever basic ass jobs I had at fucking 18 or 20, let alone play professional sports. But
Yeah, well, yeah, pro sports, yeah.
so do you think he killed those two or not? The one he
Oh,
got
for
off
sure.
on?
No, for sure. It all lines up, and like he got off on pretty much a technicality, right? I mean,
No,
he
the jury clearly didn't think he did it. The jury clearly thinks
yeah,
that
but
he
the
did.
jury also didn't think that Casey Anthony didn't kill her kid, and we all know she's guilty. And it's like a jury of your peers, and it's like a jury of morons most of the time, and that's the entire point of juries. Is you pick the worst as the defense. You always pick the worst.
Right?
So I don't think that the jury acquitted him. It's like no, half the time we aim in the legal field. You aim to have the worst on the jury because you want that
Right. But you
acquittal.
said he got off on a technicality, and I'm saying he got off on them
Well,
saying
I mean, I meant that like, I forgot what the actual like. Look, man, it's just a phrase, but
did
I
you
think
smoke weed this morning?
no, I have. I mean, I'm a parent now, so I can't really do that too much. I got to plan that a little bit more, a little better. But no, didn't get off on a technical. I mean, he got off, but I don't think that he got off because he was guilty. I just think that they were good defense attorneys. It was the same guy, Casey Anthony, Jose Baez.
Right.
And,
What are your people?
yeah, right. One of my, he's actually down here too, or he was. He's probably nationwide now.
Explain to me why the Patriots organization says we want to get you some help. Here's a shitty fucking apartment. What I didn't quite understand the point of that. Is it like to get away from? What are you getting away from? Like, what's the It seems like it would be the other way around. You'd want to get somebody
Right.
out of a shitty apartment into the suburbs.
Right, into the suburbs, and then have like somebody watching him as like a chaperone. I mean, don't they do that now? Where it's like, we're gonna have this guy shadow you and just kind of be your
Well,
buddy.
you can do that on your own. Like musicians do that all the time. I have
Right,
friends who do that for a living. Sober companion is the
right,
term.
right,
Good money, by the way. Maybe I'll do that when I'm like, too old to race anymore. Good money, get to travel around, kind of a rock star lifestyle.
right. If you're a major organization, you probably want to have someone who's troubled.
So anyway, so what do you think? If you're the Patriots, because that one admits it, Linda, right?
Yeah.
What was the name we were using in Discord?
For what?
There was a name. There's a female name that people use.
Oh, Karen.
Karen in real estate is like, yeah, we found him this apartment in Mattapan or whatever the fuck it was. So what was the Patriots' reasoning behind it? His reasoning was like hide out and get high.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know their reasoning either. I thought that before you actually mentioned it, I thought that he had got the apartment himself. I didn't know that was the Patriots that did it for him, because that doesn't make any sense
Did you get up
whatsoever.
to feed the baby?
What now? When I was watching it?
When you were watching it?
I'm in like a half state of sleep most of the time.
It was a very specific point of preference, point of whatever. They show the lady, what's your job? I do what's needed to be done. I'm player personnel, blah, blah, blah. Like, did you rent this apartment? Yes.
Oh, I thought that she was a real estate agent.
She was real estate agent.
No, it's like just only a real estate agent.
No, that's right. She said, if they need a place, I help them find it. He said, is that something you do sometimes? Speaking of which, how about the answer Robert Kraft gave when they asked him what he did for a living?
It was like a in jest kind of thing. It was, what was that? It was pretty funny too. It was like I run things. Whatever they tell me to.
But I think it was half like incredulous. Like, did you really just ask me what I do? Like, everybody knows I'm Robert Kraft. I own the Patriots.
Yeah, but in the legal setting, you have to.
I know, but it was great because he probably hadn't been asked that in a long time. When he's at a party, he doesn't have to say, when somebody says, who are you? Oh, this is Robert Kraft. Nice to meet you, Mr. Kraft. Blah,
like,
blah,
what do you
blah.
do? Yeah.
It doesn't ever come up. So and what do you do for a living? He was like,
whatever they tell me.
Whatever they tell me, which is like, a very humble owner answer. But I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. It was actually, if it was off the cuff, that was pretty good.
I think it was. I think because he also was like thinking in the moment, like, is it a dick thing to say I own the Patriots? Should I not say that to bias the jury? Like, I think all these things were going in his mind.
Well, that was the other thing. They also said not to mention anything about the Patriots.
Right. Don't wear a Patriots jersey. I'll throw you the fuck out.
So like they probably told him. I mean, I don't think they can tell him, but they probably said, don't put any bias on the jury, because if they know you're, not that they wouldn't know, but if they hear the Patriots, that's gonna somehow throw off their bias.
Right. Don't put any Jose bias on the jury.
Right.
Dude, the other thing that really resonated though was when they showed him turning around, waiting for him to come in.
Yeah, he turned around like they said 6 times, but they played it up. He was like, he turned around like 20 times. Obviously replays, but that was rough. I mean, you can tell that he really respected the guy, Robert Kraft, Aaron Hernandez to Robert Kraft. But that was, and it's one of those things where it's like he really respected him. He didn't want to disappoint him. It's like the father figure type.
Right. That's what I thought. And I thought he looked like my son Jackson. Like,
yeah, like when your dad walks in, it's like, if you did something bad, you're like always looking at, like just to see how they look at you when they come in.
Right. And it's making me sad actually thinking about it. And yes, he's a murderer, but and deserves to be in jail and would have been. But also that super weird law thing. Like, how quickly are they working to get that law fixed?
Yeah, they fixed it already. The abatement law. They fixed it.
Why would they have ever had that? In what world does that make sense?
Well, I mean, it's one of those antiquated laws where it made sense at the time.
In the 1800s, nothing's happened since then that made them think they should change it.
There's a lot of laws that are still on the books from the 1800s.
There's stupid shit like you can't marry a dog, but nobody is testing that. This one seemed pretty bad. And listen, we all know he's guilty. He's never going to not be guilty. But don't you think it's interesting that there was some hope? you got off on this one, right? Maybe you do get off. If he's guilty in that, your life's over. Forget it, right? You're guilty on both. Doesn't matter. You're not going to get both overturned. Maybe one. Not guilty on that one, but you just think the whole.
Well, the not guilty was the second one, so that he was already in jail.
So I'm saying, but now remember the guy said no use in fighting this one if you're guilty in the second one, right?
Right.
Not guilty in the second one now means maybe I can get off and I can be out of jail. If he was found guilty, no use in fighting either because there's no way you're overturning both.
Right. I mean, it's if you have enough money to defend it, that's I guess that's what his line of thinking probably was.
So why kill yourself now?
Wasn't it? I mean, I don't think they said it in the documentary, but wasn't it if you die or the money goes to the kid? Like that was a big thing where it's like, oh, she might get the money from the contract that he's owed.
Dude, why the Patriots clause probably does not say convicted of double murder. It says like anything conduct unbecoming the team. Like they make those.
Yeah, and that can be applied to anything.
Right. So why would I don't think that was going to change anything.
Well, again, he wasn't the brightest bulb. So, I mean, we saw it throughout the entire thing. He wasn't, everything was just the lowest common, like the lowest of the low. Even though he was this great football player, he just always seemed to be kind of dumb. So I think that he heard this thing in jail. It's like, if you kill yourself, your kid gets all the money. And it's like, okay, he's trying to take care of his kid because the only thing he really seemed to like was throughout the entire thing was talking to his daughter. But yeah, he was pretty dumb.
Well, Ricky, that's a pretty unwoke take.
Did you know he was gay? Because that was the other thing. But I couldn't, like, I said, I'm in kind of a half sleep most of the time, and I was watching the first episode. My wife.
And every time you woke up, it was somebody saying he was gay.
No, I was like half asleep, and my wife was already asleep. And then the high school quarterback was like, yeah, it was a relationship we had, and it's like, oh, okay, he was really close with him. We experimented. And it's like, wait a minute, what the fuck are you talking about? And it's like I really woke up, and then like every 15 minutes they'd bring that guy back on. Then he brought him and the dad back on, and it's like, yeah, when we experimented, he was just constantly bringing it up. It's like they really tried to hammer that point where it's like maybe he was gay and he was being suppressed, and he tried to kill somebody because of it. Because we never find out, and nobody ever found out why he actually killed Odin Lloyd. And it was, they do think that it's possible that he saw something or heard something about this gay activity, and like that would matter. Well, I guess he's super macho or whatever.
I don't know. It feels like. It feels like even a guy that dumb wouldn't kill somebody over that.
Well, the super masculinity. I mean, then they brought over the other guy from the Patriots who came out. I forget his name, but then it's like, yeah, it's a super masculine society, and you got to hide it, and you got to make a beard and sort. So they were really trying to hammer the point down to where it's like maybe he was just really trying to hide he was gay. Maybe he was trying to hide it from his dad. Here's his high school buddies and telling how he blew each other in high school. Then then he had to tell the dad or whatever, and the other guy found out, and maybe it made him super mad because he seemed to be like an unhinged individual anyways. So like blaming it on the whole gang, I just didn't get that the blame. They were really trying to blame the gay CTE angle, and it was kind of a cop out. I mean, because it's kind of apologizing for his behavior. It's like, well, it wasn't his fault he killed those people. He's gay. So but other than that, it was pretty interesting documentary.
All right, what else are we talking about? What other shows did we say we were going to talk about?
Well, I didn't watch Succession. We talked about Curb. If you want, we can talk Schitt's Creek, or you know what? Don't Fuck with Cats.
Oh, yes.
We talked about that lately?
No, we haven't. Again, if Josh had any fucking taste at all, I know you're listening, Josh. If you had any taste at all, we'd talk about this one. Because everybody listening to this has fucking watched it, I guarantee you.
Yeah,
if you haven't, wait a minute. If you haven't watched this yet, hit pause. Okay, great. Now, I'm going to start with opening salvo, if that's the right term, of Don't Fuck with Cats. Okay?
Right.
Rule 0. Not really.
No, I mean,
nobody's ever who has this as a thing. Like it's a great title, but not really.
Yeah, I mean, she said they kind of stuck with it. It was when they went on with the documentary. But I mean, it is one of those things where it's like later on in the documentary, he kills a guy on camera. Nobody says shit about it. I mean, nobody reacts. I mean, like, yeah, oh my God, he died. But like, then it's like, oh, then he kills a puppy in the same video. And it's like, he killed a puppy.
No, it's like somebody just posted the other day. People care more about animals in the Australian bush than they care about black people in America. And it's like probably very true.
That's very true.
But who's so who's more okay? Who do you like more, Body or John Smith? Or what's the other guy's name?
I think it was John. I like him more just because he's like, he was, I think he's possibly a serial killer as well because he's just so creepy. And it's like he just knew too much about how to get to somebody. It's like, how do you know this
He's
kind
gonna
of
be
stuff? And
he's gonna be the sequel.
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, right. We're gonna see Body moving, tracking him down. But like he comes out of nowhere, and then he's just like getting information off the. I mean, okay, you can get XGIF information or whatever, but then he's like, oh yeah, let's go up and down Google Streets, and let's go line by
Each
line.
street.
It's
That's
like
some that's
you
some
don't
intense shit, dude.
over. I mean, okay, it's
I
over
get dude.
attack.
I get frustrated in about 40 seconds looking for my keys. Okay.
Yeah. No, they had time to kill, and they really like, and he was always just kind of plain. He was always just kind of monotonous and like talking. Yeah, we just went line by line and went street by street, and we eventually found his apartment. Like that dude is, he's got something a little bit up with him, and I don't know, man. It kind of, I would like to see more about him. I liked him.
Well, when there was a break in the case and our friend Body had spent some time off the internet and they're like, where's Body? Where's Body? Wake up, Body. And I thought, oh, that's just like the Discord. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
where's Ricky? Somebody wake up Ricky. We need a Ricky post.
Yeah, tag him really quick. And then she leaves the group and all sorts of stuff. Let me see if I can.
I've not looked at one thing, by the way, on the internet since. I usually do you do the deep dive Wikipedia after you watch something, because then there's like the controversy, the backlash, the facts that weren't in the movie, but I wait till
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
done.
no, I actually haven't done that.
Do you remember the story happening? Because I do not.
I remember the beginnings of it. I do kind of remember. I might have actually seen that video when it came out because yeah, and his name was John Green, by the way.
John Green.
John Green. I might have seen that actual video when it happened, the first one, because like I used to be pretty big on the chat boards, and it's like one of those gross out videos somebody always sends you to try and what's it called, rickroll you. So I but I don't remember the aftermath, and I definitely don't. I didn't know anything about this the Luke Manata character and what ended up happening with him, and then the whole how it blows up, and it's he's acting out a part of the movie where it's like he's the basic instincts and the key, and she's wearing a necklace, and it's
dude, the basic instinct leg cross was unbelievable. That
right,
was because they show it and you kind of don't know why, but
right,
then they show her, and of course she famously shows her vagina. But
yeah,
if when he asked for a cigarette, if the cop had said no, he would have gotten to say like, "What are you gonna do? Arrest me for smoking?" Like that, I would have known because that's the famous
right,
line.
yeah,
But that was super fucking trippy. And here's what's weird. Here's what's super weird, Ricky. Tell me what you think. I could use your assistance on this, because I have my own experience with mental illness. I think I have more compassion than I normally would. Like in the old days, I would have just been like everybody else, like fucking string him up, fuck him. But because I know, like, this guy's not well, right? He's not just a mean person. He's like, there's something not going on up there, right?
yes. So he's definitely got a few wires loose, and I think that that's just kind of
Am I
part
allowed
of.
to have compassion for a serial killer? Vote, strike, press 1 for yes, 2 for no. Can we do this? Can we make this a vote?
Well, I mean, I think that you can, but uh, I think that's one of those things where it's like you're ignoring the internet rage of like we need action now and we have to get him now, and you're kind of more thinking of it in a logical sense where it's like he has some kind of mental disability or mental problem, so like maybe I mean, you're not saying it, but like maybe he's not to blame entirely for his actions, and but it's very layered. It's just that with the internet, it's like, it's A or B. It's like he's a sick person and he killed these cats and he's killing other people and he's clearly sick, or he's not. There's no gray area. There's no in between where he's like, he could have been gay and killed he could have killed somebody because he was gay. But I think that's why you're seeing it like that.
I think
But
we're seeing a thread through these documentaries, aren't we now?
yeah, a
All
lot of gay
gays,
serial killers.
all gays are serial killers. Well,
Woo, unwoke.
um, yeah, interesting because I have kind of zero compassion for Hernandez. I'm just sort of thinking out loud, but I do have some for this guy, which is weird.
Don't you feel like with his relationship with his dad being the stickler football macho guy, and him having to repress everything that he supposedly was, doesn't that
No,
give you?
listen, I think I've known a lot of gay men that's of all ages, right? Guys never come out. Guys come out in their 40s and 50s,
Right.
usually because their wife like catches them, and that's horrible. Like every day you come home, you're living this lie. It's not a great way to go through life. And some of them then, come out, they still have a great relationship with their kids and they move on and they live a gay life or whatever. But yeah, I'm saying that I'm saying that for some reason, you know what? You're right. I don't, now that you put it that way, I don't like, they're both, because just because you're mentally unwell does not mean you should kill people. Here's the
Right.
thing. Other than selling himself, if that's what he was doing, where did he get all this money to travel? Because if you're going to travel and disappear, you got to have a lot of cash on.
Oh yeah, and they don't get into that, but and
They
again,
mentioned that he was an escort, but that's a lot. Like, was
Yeah.
his mom just giving his money? We haven't even talked about his crazy ass
She
mom.
didn't seem like she had any kind of money, but we don't really know because they didn't mention anything besides the actual facts. And you do. I mean, maybe he made money on escorting because he did get that one guy and he killed him. Maybe he was pretty popular in the escort community because I mean, wasn't a bad looking guy necessarily. So I don't. I mean, hey, look, a lot of guys are into that. Like, I guess maybe.
Well, he had that disturbing. What do you call it? Plastic surgery. That's what made it weird. Is his weird voice and his weird face.
Oh God, when I knew that he was the murderer as soon as they got him on that reality show or
Right.
whatever it was. It was
My
like,
name's
this
Luca
guy,
Naughty.
yeah, that guy is, and then he's saying that he's being followed by TMZ and
Right.
the
Clearly. Right.
paparazzi. Like
Right.
he's mentally disturbed, and it's like, okay, this guy, he's just gonna be one of those forensic files type thing where it's like, oh, we know he's the killer, but then DNA evidence proved that he wasn't, or no, that's the killer. That was that was pretty much, he the killer.
What? Can you hear that noise?
Yeah. How many coffees are you on?
I think this is only 3. I did one when I left the house. Went to PT today. Got a latte on the way home, and then my wife brought me this iced coffee. So it's only 3.
I can't iced coffee.
Writing it out yesterday made me realize, wow, I drink a lot of coffee.
Yeah, I mean, in the hour shows that you do, you're like on 3 or 2 of those big ones. Too,
No, it's like this. It's like a regular size mug, maybe. But I need that, man. I need the juice.
No, I hear it.
Haven't you ever heard me when I'm tired and people can tell, like, oh, Matt, you were all over the place. You weren't even listening to that guy.
Yeah. And actually, when I started listening to you, I forget when it was. I think it was probably a Ryan episode, but you started off like, it was like a 15-minute intro of you dealing with your, I think it was your depression at the time. I remember the first episode I listened to, I was like, all right, gonna hear some Ryan Atkins talk. And then he's like, I'm feeling better, which was okay. He's feeling better, but okay, what does this have to do with, maybe I was being maybe a bit mean, where it's like, I just want to hear Ryan Atkins.
That's fine. Listen, that's fine.
But then I listened more, and it's like, oh, okay, he's been dealing with it, and it was first episode. And you were like, okay, so he must have been going through some stuff, and And so I guess it's like, okay, maybe I was just being a little mean. It's like,
It's been, I think it's been, has it been, I think it's been 3 years now, actually, since that. I think 2017
oh yeah,
was, yeah, I think like it must have been. I should go listen to those. It might be weird to listen to, like when I was really like, oh, those were some painful days. All right,
yeah, well,
what else?
yeah, everybody goes through it.
Well, not everybody.
Oh well, this the phrase. Everybody goes through it. I've been through it, so. But it was good to listen to. I remember like, okay, this kind of, it's not like the one thing I did get it from it was like, okay, this is like he's talking from the heart, and it's like pretty real. And it's like, okay, it wasn't expected, but it's it's pretty real, and it's like, oh, you're talking out there, and I guess it helped you with the talking through the podcast, and people must have contacted you or whatnot.
Well, that was the thing, was that the amount of people that reached out was like way more than I could have ever thought. I mean, you've probably heard me talk about this before, but
Yeah,
I knew, listen, I'm relatively well known in the obstacle world. I knew I'd hear from some people. Hey, bucker up. Hope you're
yeah,
okay.
right.
And
But
I knew I would get that, but it was like, I would say like 100 something people like reached out, and like I couldn't even keep up with the messages at one point. And then at races for like the next like year, people would come up and talk about them or their families or whatever. And so that was the big like, wow, I had no idea I had this effect
right,
or could have this effect on people, just putting it out there. Not that I'm
right.
a hero, but just that basically that my podcast could be used for good. Not just making fun of, whatever. So that was actually the biggest thing to come out of it.
Well, that's good. I mean, it was good. Like it seemed like you got a lot of real feedback, and not just like like you said, buck her up, and you're doing better, and every day's new, and but people actually reached out to you and like actually had meaningful conversations. But it was for me, a new listener, it was kind of like,
All right, what's going on here? I just want to hear Ryan Atkins.
but whatever. I mean, I don't. Why even bring that up? I don't know.
I don't know, because I brought it up. It's okay. All right. What else? What else were we going to talk about though? Because that was the big one. I definitely, as soon as I saw that, I wanted to talk to you.
Well, what do you plan on watching next? I mean, other than Succession, because we can.
Well,
I can watch.
You need to watch The Outsider. It's really good.
The Outsider.
All right, so here's the thing. Stacy's into Schitt's Creek. I went from not liking it all to liking some of it. Like, that's a show she watches without me. So if I walk in the room while she's watching it, I'll sit down maybe for a minute. But it's not my favorite. Stacy loves it.
Well, do you like those movies like would that have those actors?
Well, that's
like,
the thing is that
Best in Show.
I think that's the thing is that I love.
What's the other one? Well, like, did you like Best in Show?
Yeah, but this isn't that. This isn't a Christopher Guest production, though. It's just those two actors.
It's pretty. It's right, but that's why I kind of like it. It's pretty Christopher Guest-ish because it's just so dry and it's like not everything's. I mean, I don't think there are any big jokes.
She's hilarious. She we'll put it this way. She's hilarious. The mom, what's her name? Forget her real name.
Beetlejuice.
What's her name?
I don't know it either. I just know her from Beetlejuice.
Okay.
I have to Google it.
So she's great. And the kids are sometimes funny, but sometimes annoying. And I know they're supposed to be annoying, but it's like he has that son, like the son has like a permanent annoyed gay guy face on.
Oh yeah. Oh, and he's the best. Like, I think that's the only reason we really watch the show is because like it's not like all the characters aren't great. Like the sister's not the best. Like she's just kind of ditzy or whatever. The mom goes between having a big accent and not having one, and like you have this weird thing. I haven't finished it, by the way. We're on like season 2 right now, but she's just going between this weird speaking style, and her name's Catherine O'Hara, by the way.
Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah, and then we only watch it because like any time that the sun is on, and that's his real son. Anytime that the sun is on, we just can't stop laughing at him. It's just like everything is just so annoyed with him, and just like in a snarky gay way, and he's so funny. That's why we love it.
We could call this episode "Snarky Gay Way."
Yeah, everything ties back to the gay. Not the gay, but not to be unwoke. I think we're not allowed to say it like that, but whatever. Is this an obstacle racing media podcast, or is this going to be what is this going to be categorized as?
I don't know. I mean,
You gotta have to.
it started out as me and Josh. Now I'm doing me and my wife. Now I'm doing me and you. I don't know.
Well, you got you're like I mentioned before in the Discord. You're kind of like a Joe Rogan in the way, or no, Adam Carolla, because he's got the main Adam Carolla show. He's got a car podcast. He's got a podcast with Dr. Drew with mental health stuff, and then he's got like a million different subsections that he's doing, and like you kind of doing the same thing where you have like the two Ryans. That's like its own thing.
Right, that's another one. But
Yeah,
I'm not big enough I'm not big enough for those to have their own feed. So
no, not necessarily. I mean, like, but they're their own category of show. Because
right, so hopefully this is the first of many to come with you.
Awesome.
Because I specifically reached out to you.
And I was wondering, why the hell are you reaching out to me? It's like, shit, are we going to talk about obstacle racing news? I should probably bone up because, I mean, I know what's going on, but it's like, I mean, I'm definitely not like on the level of Josh or anything.
Spartan may buy Tough Mudder, and Spartan may be in Abu Dhabi. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm following along. I mean, you see me on the Discord, but
and by the way, you are allowed to tag at everyone. It's pretentious if you do it and you're not making an announcement. Announcements should can get the at everyone. It's okay.
Well,
I'm not just saying that. I'm being serious. Like, you're allowed to do it because we all do want to read your reviews. So.
Well, thank you. But that was the other thing. Do you see that when I don't tag? Because it doesn't announcements just go to everybody?
Well, yeah, but I don't necessarily click it. Like, but if I see that I'm tagged somewhere, it usually gets my attention more. But you certainly don't have to. I've done it like once or twice. But dude, that main Discord is like 600 people now. It is getting a little crazy.
Yeah, it's hopefully a lot of people will stick around because the more people interact with each other, the more there's to riff off of. And like I like to make fun of people on Discord and like give it in a jokey way where it's like, here's the news kind of, which I started thinking about earlier. I don't even know why I started doing it, but people enjoy it, so I keep on doing it. And but when there's no interaction, like yesterday, I mean, people just got things going on. Or
you're allowed to wait 2 or 3 days. If there's no news, you don't have to do it daily. You can wait 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, that's what I think. I'm gonna go to a Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing.
You don't even have to make it. You don't have to be that specific. Just as you feel, like, oh, I'm inspired to do this, and then just crank it out.
But then that's the downside because it's the news cycle. Like if I'm talking news from 3 days ago, it's like that's news from 3 days ago. And like the weekend ones tend to do pretty well. I think that's when. But then it's like, oh, I talked about stuff from Friday. And it's like, oh well, maybe people don't care about stuff from Friday because it's already Monday. But it's a work in progress. For some reason, I'm doing it, and I'm gonna continue as long as it's funny, as long as people laugh. I guess, right?
And leave multiple emojis. My genius idea, by the way.
Yes. That
lazy.
Does help.
It's lazy just to hit +1 smiley face.
No, well, yeah, well, it's lazy to read it and not leave feedback because I need the feedback. I mean, if there's one that's not funny at all, and I'm sure there have been, but it's like, well, I won't know. Well, I don't know. I'm making a big deal out of it, but it is nice seeing the feedback. As tiny as it is, but
I'm saying is somebody bothering to go create a new emoji shows intent.
Oh yeah, I like seeing that because it's like you put the effort, and then it's like sometimes you put they put it to what the topic was. Like yesterday was about French fries, so people put French fry emojis.
Right.
And I made a joke about bicycling or cycling 2 days ago, and there was a cycling emoji. So it's like it makes sense. Okay, they read it. They know what the jokes were and they get it. But I don't know. It's silly. But if people laugh, then that's fine. That's fine too. But like you said, more people, more interactions, better.
All right. So what other shows are you watching?
Well, like I said, we don't do too many at one time. Right now we're doing Schitt's Creek. I think we're gonna do might do The Witcher next.
I'm skipping that.
What else?
Have you seen Good Girls?
Good Girls on.
I think it's on Amazon. It's with what's her name from Mad Men, and I did not think I was going to like it, and it is also hilarious and amazing. So I would recommend that for you and your wife. It's a good one to watch together.
All right, Good Girls. Usually we just stick to the kind of stuff on Netflix, so like whatever pops up. But I don't, you know, let me know what you want to talk about, and then we'll watch. Because
I've told you. I've been saying Succession for weeks.
You said it for, I think, probably for a week now that you've said Succession.
Okay.
So I'll watch. How many episodes is it?
Good Girls?
No, Succession.
Succession is only 2 seasons. It's like 20 episodes. So that's like a couple weeks worth of watching. Okay. If you watch an episode a night.
Yeah.
It's fine. We won't do another one of these for a few weeks. It's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'll watch that, and whatever comes up, just let me know on Discord. Because I'm always up for watch stuff. I mean,
should I
at night when the baby's sleeping?
Yeah. Should I put this video up right away, like I did with the UK OCR podcast, and flip everybody out?
Oh yeah, sure. It will cause a lot of controversy. Yeah, I'm
that
sure
was the most unintended. I swear to God, I had not. Sometimes I know, like, ooh, this is gonna hack some hackles. I had no idea people were going to lose their fucking minds over there. But clearly, a lot of people had their opinions about Jack already, I think.
Right. They were already preset on that. Yeah. But, people get outraged over whatever. I mean, so.
Right.
So.
Right. People will outrageously skip this episode, probably.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Like the first episode that I did, I can imagine that was probably a really low-rated episode because that was, nothing completely out of nowhere. But some people enjoyed it, and I guess that's the entire thing. It's like it builds an audience if that's what you're aiming to do, or it's just a one-off, whatever. It's interesting either way.
All right.
All right. Well, it was good talking to you, Matt.
Do you want to have a sign off? Should we get a sign off? Josh and I can't come up with one. Should you and I have one? Adios, motherfucker.
Adios, motherfucker.
I mean, it's a good one, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it works. Because I'm Spanish. All right. Later.
Bye. Bye.